Hey and hello guys, welcome to my channel the Null Man. In this video we are going to do some hands-on in Oracle database by creating a table, inserting some data into it and then querying the same table and seeing the output. So it's going to be a live hands-on video this is, so please watch it. And yes, let's start. Before starting this video, let's do a quick recap of what we have seen in the last video. So it will be useful for everyone, right, to be on to get aligned the same path, so it will be easy to understand in the same flow. Okay, let's see what we have seen in the last videos. Just what is database we have seen. So database is an organized collection of data stored and accessed electronically. It's set up for easy access, management, and updating. Information is gathered at one place so that it can be observed and analyzed, right? Yes. So what is SQL? SQL is not a database, it's just a language. So hope you all remember SQL stands for structured query language. It used to communicate with the database. So SQL statements are used to perform tasks such as update, insert, delete data on a database, or retrieve data from a database. Some common relational database management systems that use SQL are Oracle, Sybase, Microsoft SQL, um, etc. Many are there. So in this tutorial, we are going to do hands-on on Oracle database. So it's a wide range. So the main important types of SQL statement we have seen, so that is DDL, DML, DQL, DCL, TCL, and let's segregate into each one by one. So DDL is nothing but data definition language. It used to define the database structure. So in this under five statements are there: create, alter, drop, truncate, rename. And yes, so in this tutorial we are going to see the create, how to create a table. For you are using create statement, we are going to see it. Okay. So next, if we have seen to DML language, so DML statements used for managing data within the schema objects. It's just a insert, update, delete, and merge. Once the data got inserted, manipulating the data. So in other data query language, select. Select is a very important one because we use to select and the data from the database in different form way how we want in order to present as a report or something like that. So DQL under DQL only select only one statement, but it is a very important one in the database. DCL data control language is just a control giving access to some users, revoking access. So for that grant revoke is used. TCL transaction control language, it's like a commit, rollback, save point. And I hope you remember all these things. Once inserted, we have to commit it, rollback if you don't want. Yes, these are all the statements. Okay, let's get into our let's get into our hands-on now. Yes, guys. Yes, guys. So this is I have installed Oracle database, a virtual machine in my local. So I'm using a Oracle VirtualBox, and then I have installed the Oracle VM. It's everything is free. I can download it from internet. And if you guys need any help in downloading all these things, if you guys want me to do a tutorial on live how to install all this, is how to set up a database in every one machine, so just please do let me know. Just comment it down. I'll post another video by you creating how to make this database setup. So yes, let's get into this. So we are going to see the create statement. So let's understand the syntax of the create statement first of all. Yeah. So this is the syntax. So create, we are going to create a table. So table, only table we can create. No, see we can. There are many objects available in database. We can create database itself. We can create and table, view, sequences. These are all we will be seeing in the upcoming. But the very basic thing is table, right? It's starting from the table only. So we are just starting from the table. So let's create table object we are creating, and then schema name we have to give. There can be multiple users or schema, both are same we can say. So you can say users. Actually I'm using there are many users are there in my database. I'm just using the user OT. So I'm going the schema name, it's going to be OT. Table name is our wish, whatever the table we have to create, whatever the name we want to give it, so we can give as a table name. And yes, open braces, and then close braces. In between these braces, we have to give what are all the columns should be available in the table. So column 1, and then data type. Data type, what data type, whether it should be a number or it should be a string. String means it data type in our database is varchar. We have to use varchar is that string data type here. And date, if it has to be a date, we can give this one a data type as a date. We can have boolean. So yes, we have to give like that. So constraint is column constraint. We have to it's like a kind of applying some rules to the columns. So whenever we are inserting or updating anything data, if we have declared some constraints, so if that column data has to follow that rule. Okay, so that's why constraint are you to in this whatever I mentioned in the square braces, that is optional, it's not mandatory. So column constraint means we can define the constraint for each column level as well. Otherwise, at the end, after declaring all the columns at the end of the at the end of the table create statement, we can define the constraint for any column whatever you want. That will be called as a table constraint. If you declare that column constraint, then it will be column in the column row itself. If you are declaring at the end of that statement, then it will be called as a table constraint. Okay, okay, let's create a table now. Okay, yes guys, so look at this syntax, look at this statement. Create table ot dot person. So ot is nothing but my user, that's schema name ot. Person is that name I have given for my table. So the table has three columns. So the three columns are person ID, first name, last name. Person ID, obviously it's going to be a number data type, and first name, obviously it will be a string. So varchar size. For a number also we can declare a size. If you're not declaring, it will take a maximum value. But for varchar we have to declare a size. It must. So the first name I'm declaring varchar 2, and then a 50 length of character can accommodate in this column. And last name also I'm declaring a varchar 2 50 and not null. This is like constraint I'm applying at the column level. So not null means we cannot insert any empty value, null value to this column. If we try to insert null value, it will throw an error. So same applies for a last name as well. And at this for person ID, we are not declaring any constraint at column level, but we have declared at a table level. At the end, we have declared as a primary key. Primary key constraint we declared for which column? Person ID column we have declared. Since we are declaring at the table level, we have to mention which column this constraint is belongs to. If you are declaring at a column level, then it can be like this also, no issues. If you are declaring at the column level, it should look like this. And this one is not required. So this one, both are same, both will work. What is primary key? Primary key, what it will do is, and in primary key, if you are declaring any prime constraint primary to any column, that column must be unique values and not null. In this column, we cannot insert null values, empty values, as well as we cannot insert any duplicate values. We cannot insert any value which is already present in that column. Always it should be unique. So that is why it's called a primary key. And it is good, it is must to have at least one primary key for one table. We can create primary key on multiple columns, but we cannot create multiple primary keys on one table. We can create only one primary key on one column or multiple column. For example, I can create a primary key on first name comma last name. So for that I have to declare like first name comma last name. So in this case it will be like the combination of the first name and the last name must be unique. For example, we have John Abraham and John Williams. So first name is John, Okay, let me write it out. First name is John. Here it is Abraham. Sorry for the spelling mistake if I do anything. Mr. John, Mr. Abraham, Mr. Williams. Hope I read right. So first name is John, last name is Abraham, and the second first name is John, last name is Williams. So in this case, this John is duplicated, but the primary key we have created on first name comma last name. So the database will check the combination. So John Abraham, is it any other John Abraham is trying to get inserted or what? No, it is John Williams. So it will get inserted, no issues. In case if I have only primary key of first name, then John Abraham, it will get inserted. But again, second row, first name will be John, second name will be Williams, but it will throw an error because John is already has been present in the table. Right. So in this case, we are going to create uh, primary key on person ID since name many people can have single name guys, but ID should be unique. So yes, let's create a table. So it's running. So table OT persons are created. Table is created. So how to view the table? Select star from OT.persons. As you can see, star in the sense uh, we are selecting everything from the table, mean every column from the table we are reviewing it. So you can see that person ID, first name, last name, three columns. But there is no row, obviously. We just have created it's a new table. Now let's insert some data into this table and then we will see how it is looks like. So to insert a data, we have to use a DML operation, that insert statement. So insert into table name values. We have to give first on the order person ID, first name, last name. So the person ID, what person ID, let's say, let's give one. It's a number. And then first name, let's give John. And last name, let's give Abraham, since we discussed. So let's run this. And you guys notice this is create table and our DDL, it's auto committed, but insert is DML, it's not auto commit. So we have to commit it explicitly once the data is get inserted. So commit complete. So let's run the select star from table name, and then you can see uh, data inserted. 1 minute, guys. Sorry. Yeah. Person ID John Abraham. It is getting inserted. You can see the data is inserted. And if you want to see only the first name and last name, you don't want to see the person ID, means you can directly type the column name, whatever the column you want. First name, if you type it in, then only first name will be displayed. And if you want to see the last name as well, comma last name, so last name also get displayed. If you put star, all the columns from the table will be displayed. So now let's try inserting some null values to first name or last name any column. Since we have a not null constraint, it should throw an error. Insert into ot.persons values and person ID 2 and John, and I'm keeping it as null. Let's run this. So you can see the error. Insert into this statement error report cannot insert null into ot.person.last name. Since we have a not null, we cannot insert, right? So okay, so now let's put Williams, and now this in this example we will try inserting the same values into the primary key column, and we'll see what error it is throwing. And see, now you can see unique constraint violated. So unique constraint is violated because that primary key, it's because that person ID is a primary key. It cannot have a unique values. If we do 2 employee, it will get inserted. See, it's got inserted. Select star from the table. So and data got inserted. If you okay, I haven't committed yet. So before commit, if you want to see the rollback, so you want to undo the step you whatever you have inserted now. You have to undo the step until the last commit. You just simply you can type rollback and you can run it. So rollback completed. So if you run this, you can see only one row because after this first row inserted, you had committed, and then when the next row inserted before commit, we did the rollback, we did the undo, so it got removed from this table. Yeah, let's insert and let's do one more select and then we will wrap it up. Insert, one row inserted, and I'm committing, and you can see the table now, John Abraham Williams, and you just want to uh, fetch the data only whose last name is Abraham. Since the first name is John, you just want to see, you don't want to see the John Williams, you just want to see John Abraham. So to apply filter, you have to use a where clause, where condition you have to apply, where last name equal to what last name you want Abraham. So Abraham, you have to remember, guys, it is case sensitive. Everything is data is case sensitive. Not a query is not a case sensitive. You can type a query however the case you want, but whatever you are giving within the codes, that is it's sensitive. Case sensitive, it is data and all. Don't forget. So I want only Abraham. So I'm just running it. So you can see I am seeing only one data, which John Abraham John Williams is not being fetched. Okay, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys understood few idea how to create a table with the constraints and then how to insert a few data, how to query the table by using this. And yes, in next video I will see. Let's go with some other next upcoming DDL statements, alter, drop, truncate, and everything one by one. We'll go. We'll see some other DML statements as well. Update everything. So stay tuned. Please subscribe, like the video. Bye, guys. See you.